We welcome you to the experience of Pilot. We don't just tell time, we tell history. So imagine a world where people and marketers run around trying not to reinvent the wheel. Imagine feeling that everything is already created and that being unique is just being similar. Feeling we cannot differentiate ourselves. Well, we believe to have found the solution. After closely studying the watch market, we see a trend that companies who try to be unique all become unique in the same way. Rolex, Omega, Breitling, Tag Heuer are all appealing to wealth, status, prestige and power. We will appeal to this too, but as our parity and not as our difference. The luxury market is reaching a state where the points of differences are becoming so similar that they soon might just be points of parities. Therefore, we have launched Pilot. Pilot is a watch made out of unique steel from iconic airplanes which no longer functions, making us different on every small detail. Our points of parity to the luxury market will be seen through appealing to wealth, power and prestige, our high price and our ability to make durable and precise watches. Our point of differences is our ability to appeal to more than just wealth. We want to appeal to every fascinating feeling associated with being a pilot. Our name Pilot and our brand personality is based on these fascinating feelings of being free, being traveled, being personally unique, sophisticated, and strongly independent. Our brand personality will have a huge effect on our product decisions. Our overall brand personality will be within the competence and sophistication dimensions. Probably a personality that could be represented by this man or this man. This will guide the production towards product like this. Also, you cannot build a timepiece from airplanes without benefiting from the feelings of excitement and adrenaline. Some products will look like this and be worn by him. So welcome to Pilot, a company that builds on the story of old airplanes and the person whom used to fly it. When an aircraft starts to rack up flying hours, maintaining its airworthiness becomes increasingly expensive. At some stage, the owner will remove whatever value remains and chop the plane to pieces and sell for scrap. This is happening today, making our business probable. Since we remelt the metal, it does not matter where from the airplane the metal comes. We look for cheaper components instead of buying a whole airplane, making the business model more profitable. This is the business plan, and it is here in the production we totally differentiate ourselves from our customers. The letter P in the middle of the logo simply stands for Pilot. The two wings on either side of the letter is a symbol of freedom, nature, crossing borders, and even achievement. The logo can be associated with a similar badge of achievement only carried by a pilot when in uniform. The slogan gives a heads up to the historical references that is incorporated into every single product. We don't just tell time, we do tell history. The characters and jingles, we will not have it, since we do not find it exclusive enough, nor do we see it benefit our classic brands. We have found that www.pilotwatches.com.au is free to use. We think this is a great URL
explaining everything within one sentence that this is the watches made from Pilot.
So now let's dive into more depth of the pops and pods of our two main competitors. Firstly, let's look at Omega versus Pilot. One of the points of parodies is that the main product attributes and specifications lie within the materials used within the watches. Both the brand, Pilot and Omega, use their unique core product attributes as a way to position themselves. Another point of parody is that both brands evoke feelings of luxury and class. Both brands want the wearer of their watch to feel like they are part of something special. The last point of parody is that both brands are featured in films and on celebrities and athletes. Both brands engage in endorsements with celebrities who are considered high class, such as James Bond. Now let's look at some points of difference between Pilot and Omega watches. Firstly, Pilot watches are made of unique materials, being recycled aeroplane steel. This allows us to have a point of differentiation in the market. Another point of difference is that Omega watches are significantly more expensive, with some of their watches being at prices over $10,000 to $20,000. The last point of difference is that Omega's target market is segmented economically, while Pilot's target market is segmented psychographically. We can see that Omega's target market is the upper wealthy class, as many of their ads will have celebrities dressed formally pictured wearing the watches. Now let's have a look at Tag Heuer versus Pilot. Firstly, let's start with the points of parodies. Both Tag Heuer and Omega have a similar price range. Pilot's watches are around $3,000 to $5,000, similar to that of Tag Heuer. Another parody is that both watches are targeted by behaviour. Those who enjoy sports and adrenaline but also desire a luxury high-end watch. As we can see, Tag Heuer advertisements are all sporty themed, as are our ads which picture airplanes and things of sporty nature. Some points of difference between Tag Heuer and Pilot is that Tag Heuer carries the Swiss-made stamp, which essentially positions them as a watch of high-quality manufacturing standards. Another point of difference is that, as mentioned before, our Pilot watches are not only made of unique materials, but they also tell a significant story behind each and every piece. Pilot's positioning focus on travel and freedom has been strategized into our placement of marketing communications. The simplistic yet eye-catching banners in airports not only correlates with the core of our product being made of recycled airplanes, but it also furthers our brand personality as a brand that evokes freedom and excitement, as those are often feelings associated with travelling somewhere new and being in an airplane. Here is a mock-up of a large-scale print that will be placed in a busy terminal. The vintage airplane and vintage style of the picture evokes a sense that the watches have a story to tell or a background, like an old memory. This older, more vintage style of print is targeted towards our classier gentlemen, whom are not only interested in having a high-end luxury watch, but they also want a conversation piece.
To create brand awareness and brand salience, we'll be promoting Pilot at events where our target audience will be the dominant viewers and attendees. These events include the Grand Prix and Red Bull Air Show. These events will be attended by fighter plane enthusiasts and rev heads, who are very much a large part of our target audience. The Red Bull Air Show demonstrates power and speed of some of the latest fighter planes going around. Our Pilot watch is a recycled version of these planes, allowing consumers to feel the speed and power sitting on their wrist. Whilst the Grand Prix demonstrates the speed and ferocity of Formula One, there is always a very loud display of fighter planes taking the skies of Melbourne. Whilst we will be visible in the air, we will also be present on the ground. Interactive marketing is a fantastic way to promote your brand and engage with the consumer. Whilst this is a sustainable product, we will exaggerate this theme by providing branded keep cups to air show attendees. Sustainability is fast becoming a hot topic in today's society. By grabbing onto this powerful movement, we are making ourselves become more sustainably sexy to the consumers. Keep cups are also a great way to keep your brand close to the customer. sitting on desks, being held in someone's hand. Your customer is the promoter. If we are targeting planes, why not target where they operate? Airports. Airports are a fantastic way to target an audience. People have lots of time on their hands to look up pop-up interactive screens and banners around them. If they see what they like and want to grab a bit of history to wear, then they can walk 100 metres to the closest duty-free where all the luxury items are situated.